All right, good morning. Today is Wednesday, February the 9th. I need everybody to get their computer out, open it up, and begin logging into Schoology. Okay, actually, I want you to leave your class link tab open and have your Schoology tab open. Okay, and if your MobyMax pops up, go ahead and leave it open as well. All right, so I want you to go ahead and click on first period. Scroll down, click on third 9 weeks. We're going to go to week 6, February the 7th through the 11th. Today is Wednesday, February the 9th. All right, and if you look at what it says we're going to do, it says ACAT bell ringer 2922 active and passive voice. We are going to scratch this for today, okay? It's going to be moved to another day. We're going to do hyphens day 5, the giver 5 through 8 vocabulary is going to have to wait. And then we are going to go back and do comprehension questions for chapters 1 through 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so we're going to have to go back and access some more folders. What I need for you to do right now, though, is, so here's what I've decided. 2 days a week. Staying at break today.
For what? Trying to get the mouse out? Okay.
2 days, we are going to do ACAT bell ringers. Actually, I'm sorry, 3 days we're going to do ACAT bell ringers. Okay, and then 2 days a week, we are going to do MobyMax for 15 minutes as a bell ringer. Now, here's how I'm going to grade you on MobyMax. Okay, it's going to be out of 15 points or 15 minutes. So if you log on to MobyMax and you are active and doing what you're supposed to for 15 solid minutes in the tile or in the subject area that I tell you to be in, okay, that is a 100. If you are in there 14 out of 15, it's whatever 14 divided by 15 is. If you do 10 minutes out of 15 minutes, then it will be whatever 10 divided by 15 is. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm going to be monitoring you on MobyMax 2 days a week for 15 minutes in language and foundational reading or informational text. And it will count as a grade. Now, this should be, again, an easy grade. It should be easier than the ACAT bell ringer. Okay, but what I realized is if I don't put a grade in the grade book, you're not going to take me seriously. Does everyone understand what I'm saying? All right. If you are not late to my class, you would know. Okay, so what I want you to do right now is I need for everybody to log on to MobyMax. Now, obviously, my screen looks a little bit different than yours, but we're going to go to the foundational reading. Okay, you are going to click on foundational reading. If you have tested out a foundational reading, you are going to go to the reading informational text or reading skills informational. If you have tested out a foundational reading, you are going to click on reading skills informational. Okay, has everyone got their screen up and active? All right. You cannot just let the program run. I can see what screen you're on, what question you're on, and how much time you're spending on any one question. In order to get the 100, you have to be active. And you cannot just be going through the motions. Do you understand me? That means you cannot just click. Hello. Hey. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Did it still count as like you doing that if you're watching the video?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, is Grandma Otis coming? Why is she coming in? Read the book.
You're not reading the book today.
She's reading what?
Yeah, then some people put it. Yeah.
Hold on, don't do anything.
I'll help you turn it off.
All right. You can log off of that.
What if we want to keep going?
No.
I'm doing good right now.
All right, you can log off. Okay? You are going to go back to Wednesday, February the 9th. You are going to go back to Wednesday, February the 9th, and you are going to click on hyphens day 5. Hyphens day 5. No. All right, hyphens day 5. Open assignment with Cami. Not open with a Cami, but open assignment with Cami. Okay? Open assignment with Cami. Shh. And how I grade is different. All right. Open assignment with Cami. All right, day 5.
That's a lie. You just try to follow James's question.
All right, day 5.
Jordan, you gotta move. I think.
Send him to the office.
I can see that.
He only moves because Jameson moves.
Go. All right, day 5. Add hyphens or apostrophes where needed in the following sentences. Okay? We need to find this skateboard's owner. You need an apostrophe where? You need an apostrophe where? Shh, I don't need to hear you talking, but you need to add an apostrophe where? We need to find this skateboard's owner. Whose owner? All right, so skateboards is possessive to owner. So what do you need to add here? an apostrophe.
Dad. I do that.
Now, I do want you to highlight the word that needs an apostrophe. You must highlight the word that needs an apostrophe. Y'all two are about to be split.
Who actually doing our work?
Just wait until you push me.
No, you can't.
Hey,
He's on the game.
I'm gonna do this. Maggot tissue.
all right, number 2, the gang members are trying to strong arm him, but it won't work.
Won't. Members and won't. No, won't.
Members is just plural, so it's fine. All right, won't, absolutely, because it is a contraction for will not.
See, I knew that.
All right, my battery is at 21%. I'd better charge my iPad.
What's your phone number? I'll call it.
Here, I'll go with you.
No, sit down. It's fine.
I bet I know exactly where it's at.
I can get none of these keys to work.
What's your phone
See,
number? I'll call
I
it.
told you your keys don't work.
All right. The gang, my battery is at 21%. I'd better charge my iPad.
Don't you put an iPhone?
21. All right, and you need to highlight.
So cool.
Here we go. Number 4. Batman uses a lot of high-tech gadgets to fight criminals.
Criminal.
High-tech.
Hey, I don't know something I done did.
Undo.
You go to the eraser. Where's the undo button?
Alright, you see where the shapes are, Jameson? Press that eraser.
All right, number 5. Identify the error in each sentence. All right, investigators. Are we just talking about one investigator or multiple investigators? Multiple investigators. So we do not need an apostrophe S. This is correct as is. Often benefit from criminal stupid mistakes. Okay? Now, we're talking about many criminals here. All right, we are talking about many criminals here. So where should the apostrophe be?
Mistake. No, investigators.
No.
What?
This word does need an apostrophe, but it's plural possessive.
You must have tons of money in here. It's heavy.
It's plural possessive. Where does do what? After the S. Okay, it needs to be after the S. All right, your mom, you are mom called. You have to go home now. All right, what needs fixing?
Your mom.
Your. It should not be you are, but it should be what?
Y-O-U-R.
Okay. All right, it is important to put on a well-designed product for your customers.
No, well designed.
Well-designed. What needs to happen here?
Hyphen. Hyphen.
Okay, several of the jury's members felt guilty about their decision. All right, it is members. Why is it incorrect? It should be plural possessive. Good. So where should my apostrophe be?
After the S.
After the S. All right, I like playing early season sports in the spring. In the spring is incorrect. Okay, you don't need that. All it should be is in the spring. All right, anagram. Rearrange the letters in the nonsense phrase below to create new words that actually make sense.
I would say hint zodiac.
Zodiac. Where you said that? Right, I beat that. I'm not.
This is difficult.
What the heck is a zodiac?
I know. All right, y'all might not understand this, so I'm just going to.
What is a zodiac?
Zodiac. I don't know what the heck that is.
Okay.
No.
Shh. That's what you need to have.
What the heck is that? Can you just tell me what they are? So I quit asking.
Like your
Zodiac.
zodiac. Like I'm Aquarius.
What the heck is an Aquarius?
I was born in February. Like your zodiac sign depends on when you were born.
What's your birthday?
October.
You just said February.
Well, mine's in October.
I wasn't asking you that you heard.
Mine is the 10th.
That's tomorrow.
I ain't getting you nothing. After every time you try to write me up, give me breakfast session, you ain't getting nothing.
Thank you, Angel. Okay, when you finish, you're going to turn in, submit. When you finish, you are going to turn in, submit. All right, now what I want you to do is I want you to go back to week 6, and I want you to click on Monday, February the 7th. Back to week 6, and you're going to click on Monday, February the 7th. Now, we read through chapter 4 yesterday. Okay, we read through chapter 4 yesterday. So what we're going to go back today and do is we are going to complete our chapter response questions for chapters 1 through 2 and 3 through 4. And if we get that completed, then we will read chapter 5 and 6. Okay? All right, chapter 1 and 2. You should be able to click on this and open your document. Okay?
5 and 6 chapters.
Nope, chapter 1 and 2 response. You go back to Monday. Shh. Emily, go run.
Why can't I do it?
Open the door for Miss Susan. Shh. All right. So what I need for you to do. Why does this already have the answers in it?
I don't have the answer.
All right, go ahead and all right, so we're going to talk about this because the answers are already here. Okay? I think that might have been an accident. All right, chapter 1, character's point of view, unidentified aircraft. Your mouth is going to have to close. Okay? Let me go over this one more time.
Yeah, do that.
Go back to Monday's folder and click on the giver, chapters 1 through 2.
I got it.
Now, character's point of view. Why Jonas was fascinated when he saw the aircraft. Okay? Why was Jonas fascinated when he saw the aircraft?
Because you never seen an airplane.
He had never seen one that close.
He had never seen one that close, but you're missing another important fact.
He had never seen
They're
one.
not supposed to fly over.
That's it.
They're not supposed to fly over the
Pilots
community.
were not allowed to fly over the community.
All right, so in this box here, it was he had never seen a plane close up because it is against the rules for pilots to fly over the community. Okay?
How far are y'all in here?
Chapter 4.
Okay, I'm not be quiet with you then. Can that not be made bigger?
Oh yeah.
I can't see squat when I'm in the back of the room.
They have it on their screen.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right, listen.
We ain't got the answer. I don't have no.
There is a specific term for that.
Cone nose or whatever.
Sharp. Long. Hard.
Needle nose. All right, needle nose. All right, number 2, exposition. Now, the exposition of a story tells us when and where the story takes place, right? It's the first part of the plot diagram. Okay, so Asher's reason for it.
He was late because he was watching people fish or something like that.
He was late because he was watching the fishers. Now, who is Asher?
Another person.
But who's
He's I think he's friends with Jonah.
Yes,
Friends-
that's it.
friends with Jonas.
Friend, Jonas.
all right? And he does not have a filter. He just says whatever he thinks, right?
So like me.
But
Yeah.
he was not very deep.
Mm-mm.
You know, he didn't see the things and feel and see the things that Jonas did.
All right. What do we learn, Lily? What do we learn about her?
She's 7 years old.
She's 7 years old, and when they talk about, they don't just say that somebody is 7 years old or 11 years old. What do they say?
11 year,
Yes,
the 11s or something.
The 11s and the 7s. All right, how old is Jonas? 11, and we're in the month of November, and in December, what is he going to be celebrating? The ceremony of 12, which is when he turns 12. It's like his birthday party.
Yes, he gets
Okay.
a vocation that they assigned to him.
All right, so in chapter 1, we learn that the family sits down with one another and they have the revealing of the feelings. Okay? Well, that night, Lily is upset. What is she frustrated with?
Some kid cut in front of her.
All right, she is frustrated
Community.
that the visiting boy kept cutting in line.
He did not observe their rules of play that they had in that community.
Sounds like some robots.
It really kind of does.
It does make you think. It does make you think of that.
All right, what is Jonas's father concerned about? First of all, what is Jonas's father's occupation? Nurturer. What is Mama's occupation? Works at the Department of Justice, law. Okay. So Dad was worried about the newborn baby that might not survive and get released. Gabriel.
Yeah, I done read this book before.
All right, release. What do we know about it? Elders and babies who do not develop at the right rate get released. Being released is a sign of failure if you are not very old or very young. and it is a punishment.
Did it mention that pilot would be released?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. And that would definitely be a shameful thing for his age person.
No doubt.
This book's kind of weird too.
Well, it's not your usual run of the mill kind of thing that we read.
I think what we read yesterday kind of like.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
weird.
I think
They're talking about that's weird.
Yeah, when I read that part, Jameson, I thought to myself,
What indie hit? That's what you thought right there.
Isaiah,
What indie
nursing
hit?
home. All right, do we have this part? Can I go up?
We do not. You're moving too fast. My fingers can't go that fast. What?
have y'all talked about the eyes yet?
Mm-mm.
The white eyes.
The
Oh wait,
light-colored
did
eyes.
yeah we did too. Emily, I need you to go to Miss Page real quick.
Let me go. I'm done.
Just yeah,
Yeah.
she knows. All right, quick. I need for you to stop talking and get this. We're not on. We're behind my schedule.
Who said that?
Who said what?
All right, make an inference. Okay.
Miss Williams. Quit going so fast, please.
My goal really was to make them do this independently, but when I opened it up, AG and them had accidentally answered it already.
Thank you, Miss A.
Because we've already read it and talked about it.
So lost.
But we didn't get the work.
How did she make those answers be
You
right?
been with this kid.
Because when you, like, I had shared the file, but you have to make a copy of it. And we forgot to make a copy.
Okay. Have you told her that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that doesn't work for your plans.
All right. When I hear you talking, that means I'm moving on. Making an inference. All right. Read the following passage from chapter 1. Most of the people on the night crew had not even been given spouses because they lacked somehow the essential capacity to connect to others, which was required of the creation of a family unit. All right, now we kind of talked about yesterday the fact that everything here in this world is assigned. Like, people don't pick their own spouses. They don't have babies. Like, you pretty much go to almost like an adoption type thing.
It said they had to make an application to
Yeah.
have a child.
Okay. So,
This is a perfect
And-
world that we're in, Jace.
what?
That wouldn't be perfect for me.
Uh-uh.
No.
All right, what can you infer about the society and its rules from the words given spouses? Okay, what can you infer about that? I really did just tell you. You can infer that what? You can't pick your own spouse. Why can't you pick your own spouse? You fill out an application and someone is assigned to you. All right, what about children?
You have to apply.
You have to apply.
And listen, one of the things that was so freaky to me is that some people are assigned the duty of being the birth mother. So that is really freaky. And it makes me wonder how those people are impregnated.
I know.
Do they do well? I mean, really, do they do it by artificial insemination? Do they? I don't know. That's what I want to know. Where does the sperm come from? Does it come from the the man, the husband, and the, I don't know. That's a question for me.
All right, what does the word essential mean?
You need it.
It's needed. You
Gotta
have to
have
have it.
A must-have. It is weird.
I like it.
All right, you know that you are going to submit this. You know good and well that you are going to submit this.
Somebody is talking up a storm. Do y'all realize that the same lady that wrote this book, Lois Lowry, is also the one that wrote Number the Stars? That is a huge.
I don't want to read it.
All right, chapter 1, author's word choice. Read the following passage from chapter 1. Lily looked up, her eyes wide, the ceremony of 12. She whispered in awed voice. Which words in the passage show that the ceremony of 12 is something important? All right, so you are using the words in this box to type into here. Okay, which words in the following passage best shows that the ceremony of 12 is something important? Lily looked up, her eyes wide. The ceremony of 12, she whispered in an awed voice. Okay, so awed voice, whispered, and eyes wide. You may have to. Oh. You may have to insert a text box. Okay? You go up here to the box that says text box. All right, so that was chapter 1. Chapter 2.
So all three of those are the boys.
Brian Matthews.
How do you size your page over?
There should be a bar at the bottom.
Oh yes.
All right, I'm going on to chapter 2. All right, chapter 2, important passage. The fact that his father had broken a rule at all awed him. Which rule is the speaker referring to? What did the father do?
He took the he looked at the baby's name.
This one doesn't have anything to do with the baby.
He broke the rule like he was supposed to.
Like, this would be almost like a flashback into the father's days. When what? When he was 12, what happened? When father was 12, he taught the sister how to ride a bike before it was allowed. Okay? That was in chapter 2. Open the book up. What do these words show us about Jonas? Okay? Jonas tries to always do what? No, he tries to always follow the rules, except for in chapter 4 when he made a mistake. And they announced his name over the loudspeaker.
They didn't call his name, did
They
they?
didn't call.
Just,
Yeah,
they
they
just
didn't.
said
He took the
Yes.
apple.
from the lunchroom or whatever.
was weird when they threw it up in the air.
Yes.
Well, he noticed that it was changing. You know
So
that
it could be
it
an artificial world.
Yes.
I think I've watched this movie before. They all like jump rope and.
This is why we did that Utopia mind map. And you made up your own rules and
Mitch Wheeler's. I think I read this book. I watched the movie before because they like in the movie they all had like a perfect like they all went outside at the same time and jump roped at the same time. They were all in like sync and they all had on the same clothes. They all went inside at the same time. All ate dinner at the same time. All went to work at the same time.
Have y'all read anything? I would read a little bit, then I would go to the Spark Notes last night, and they were saying that when they decided years and years ago to make this society, this community the way it was, they wiped out their memories because memories can cause pain or pleasure.
It sounds so dumb. I'm telling you.
You know what? You need to expand your mind a little bit. There are things. Hush, Jameson. I don't need you to tell him Jack. You listen, y'all. There are so many things in this world that y'all kind of got tunnel vision. I want y'all to experience and know things that are different from your lives. This would drive me nuts. I think.
Yeah,
And I think, you know,
I agree.
Asher seems to be just fine with it. But I think I feel some discontent in Jonas, you know.
CJ.
Well, so like, when they do something bad and they get like, do they kill them or what do they do?
They kill him.
Sounds like some.
Did they say that if you broke a rule 3 times?
Yeah.
Did I read that or did I imagine that?
Could y'all imagine living in this world?
Yeah.
Y'all break a rule 3 times in 5 minutes.
No, it did.
Think about it like that.
You think I care about this?
Okay.
Let me read this to you right here. When I was in 11, that is the weirdest way of saying that. When I was in 11, his father said, now, as you are, Jonas, I was very impatient, waiting for the ceremony of 12. It's a long 2 days. I remember that I enjoyed the ones, as I always do, but that I didn't pay much attention to the other ceremonies, except for my sister's. She became a 9 that year and got her bicycle. I'd been teaching her to ride mine,
This book don't make a lick of sense.
even though technically I was not supposed to.
You need to go teach that person some grammar lessons.
Well, it doesn't seem very important, does it? It does not.
This kind of sounds like.
It's kind of like they have all these rules and they mind control them. You know, they control. You know that they're trying to make them conform.
Like brainwash.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I think it's like a video game.
All right. Key details. The ceremonies. List the key events in each age group. All right. In the 1s, they are given their names assigned to their families. In the 9s, they are given bikes. They receive more volunteer hours. What happens at 8? What's taken away? Their comforter. The ribbons is not a comforter. That was just, they're hung up on the ribbons.
I missed the ribbon.
They get hung on ribbon.
Huh?
There were a little elephant. There was a little elephant.
Did you just say they get hung by ribbon?
It was,
Y'all are getting hung up.
yeah,
on
the
this
stuffed
ribbon thing.
animal. Yes. He is stuck on the fact that the dad was trying to help Lily, like with her ribbons. Or the ribbons are supposed to be neatly tied, and Lily's are not ever neatly tied.
Like on her hair, the
Yes.
ribbons on her hair.
Yes. Okay. And then at 12, they receive their work assignment and the training begins. Okay?
Do you remember why it said that Jonas enjoyed his volunteer hours? Because he was allowed to choose where he went.
And why is that?
I don't know. that was one part of his life that wasn't completely so regimented.
Oh my goodness. I'm
Her in the comments on.
This is their normal in that community. It did, I read somewhere it did say that this was in the future, you know,
In the
but that's
future.
this book was set like in the future. I read that somewhere. It might have been in a spark note.
When I watched the movie,
Uh-huh.
it like they all had the same houses, like the same layout and stuff, like the same front, same cars, all everything. The boys
Well,
would dribble
can you think of a reason for that?
Oh yeah, the boys would dribble the ball at the same time. And
Yeah,
all be
the
jumping.
boys would dribble the ball at the same time, and the girls would jump rope.
Oh,
And then they would all have white clothes on.
No, the boys had blue, and the girls had pink on in the movie, at least.
Listen, that the reason for that is because if everybody's dressed alike, then there won't be any jealousy. There won't be any. Oh, I wish I had that. I wish my parents could buy me that. And, you know, that kind of thing. It's just a sameness all the way throughout.
It's
So-
like they got a sign that whenever they bought the house or whatever.
Yeah,
Like the car was already there, the clothes were already there,
possibly.
everything was already there for them, and they didn't need to do nothing.
All right, elements interact. Explain each topic with details from the text. All right, the receiver, the sole keeper of the community's collective memory. When
That's the only one that has any memory of what.
When the community went to saneness, it left behind all memories of pain, war, and emotion. However, the memories cannot disappear completely.
Zoom in closer.
Who's sitting right there? I'm not moving right there.
Emily Freeman.
I'm not moving.
She's already here.
No, Emily Harold.
She's already back.
Yeah, that's her. Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
The soul kicker.
No, that says SOLE, Jameson.
I'm at soil.
No, it's soul. But it's not talking about your immortal soul.
I said soul.
Yeah, I know you did, but I just want you to know that that's not like talking about your soul. That if I say he was the sole survivor of the crash, the only one.
Oh, that like he's like a president. She's above.
What the heck are you talking about, James?
Well, I'm just saying that if there was a car crash and there were 6 people in the car and everybody got killed except one, then he would be the sole survivor of the crash. That means the only one.
This radio computer's about to get
All right, committee of elders. A group of elders in the community whose long robes distinguish them from the rest of the citizens. They make important decisions about matters concerning the community. Zariah. Insert a text box.
You
punched. James is so mad.
Yes, you can.
You're in the comments only. Click that. It's because she's.
I guess Jesus Christ came in.
Did any of you read The Hunger Games?
No.
Okay, well listen, that society that The Hunger Games was set in, that was called a DYS, dystopian society. This, on the other hand, is supposed to be a utopian society where everything is just lovely. And in The Hunger Games, everything was fine, everything was sweet, everything was good, everything, they didn't have a bunch of worries and, because the society took care of the community. But in Hunger Games, it was not like that. It was a dystopian society. What about the Divergent series? Did any of you read Divergent series? No.
No.
That was kind of
Utopia,
similar.
Whatever this book is about, it sounds like. I would not want to live there.
I would not either.
All right, increasing levels of observation. Get what you can. Pick up where we're at. Pick up where we are, and we'll go back. Okay? Increasing levels of observations. The 11s are being watched to decide their assignments. They do these volunteer hours.
And they can see what they choose most often to volunteer at, and that might tell them
And how they act.
and what they would be best suited for.
Like me, I'll be a good
Stay-at-home dad.
killer.
And you know, another thing, men, there are some men that are nurturing, but women are generally considered the nurturers in a family. I said generally. That
Beats me up every time.
what? Otherwise, you'd still be in the bed asleep, I'm sure.
I got
I don't want to go to this school. I don't want to go
I
to
ain't
this
that
school.
lazy.
Listen, I will sleep and punch 2 or 3 alarms before I ever finally get up. I'll make them shut them off.
I'll just shut off my alarms. I don't care about that.
All right.
Somebody's got to get you up, though.
Hall of Open Records, a building that stores records about citizens and events, as well as other information that is available of the community. So whatever you want to know, you go find out.
That's a misplaced
Yeah.
preposition phrase, as well as other information of the community that is available.
All right, assignment, the occupations of the inhabitants of the community. Okay, the occupations of the inhabitants of the community. I think we have a fairly good understanding of what that is.
Well, let's just go from here and then we'll come back and fix it. Because while you're fixing, you're going to get way, way behind.
We did vocabulary. We did a Utopia mind map. Watched the video on Utopias before we started it all.
What video did you watch?
That what a Utopia world is.
I didn't even watch Alan.
But they can go back and look at it, can't they? It's up to you. Go back and look at it.
Yeah, go on, boy. Y'all pop slow.
All right,
I had to read them up.
I'm about to move on.
All right.
All right, make an inference. Read this passage from chapter 2. Read this passage from chapter 2. Many of the comfort objects, like lilies, were soft, stuffed, imaginary creatures. Jonas's had been called a bear. Based on this passage, what can you infer about the animals in this community?
Oh, I just know there ain't no animals in our story.
All right.
I didn't notice that till right now.
All right. There are no real animals in the community. Animals are ancient history or imagination. I was thinking that they are just stuffed animals. Okay.
No, but listen. So So what they got like a big dome, invisible dome around, right? It's like a green screen, you know? Or not.
What was the name of that show a year or so back? They were in like there was a big dome around the whole thing. Was it dome? I didn't like it. That was kind of a dystopian society type thing.
All right, characters. Asher, what do we know about him? He's Jonas's best friend. He has a habit of mixing up words.
You probably know this and do this already, but when you're writing like from the board like this, it's almost like doing sentence dictation. If you would read the whole sentence and say it in your mind and then just write it and not have to write a word and look up, write a word and look up, write a word and look up, that would make it go much faster.
What did you say?
I said read the whole sentence. He is Jonas's best friend, and say it to yourself, and then write it. You don't have to look at every word.
I've tried to get them to focus too on what's being said and not focus so much on what's being.
What they're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because this is just a guide, not
Hey, could you move that?
verbatim.
I'm sorry.
No. Alright, we finished that one. Now we're gonna get to the Hey, we only got 4 slides. Where's the 5 and 6?
Hey, go back to the. I thought you wanted to go.
Shh. Hey, Brian says calling you.
Oh, what, baby? Huh? Okay.
Is
Fix.
what you gonna do with
I
that?
don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to have surgery this summer. I'll have to go see Dr. I wonder if Dr. Walters still does that surgery. He was getting kind of aged.
All right, when you finish this, I need for you to go ahead and submit the assignment. Okay, when you finish, you are going to go ahead and submit your assignment. Okay? Shh. All right, and then what I need for you to do is I want you to go back to week 6, February 7th through the 11th, and we're going to go to Tuesday, February the 8th. We're going to go to Tuesday, February the 8th. Okay? And I want you to click on TG chapters 3 through 4 response questions. All right, TG chapters 3 through 4 chapter response questions. All right, so this actually, the way it happened last go around worked out perfect. Okay, because we answered the first 2 chapters together. So what that means is on 3 and 4, you're going to do some independent work. You are going to answer these by yourself. Okay? Now, I can go ahead and tell you that we are not going to have time to make it happen all today. But within the 5 minutes that we have left, I want you to go ahead and get started. All right? Chapter 3, important passage. And he has funny eyes like yours, Jonas. Jonas glared at her. He didn't like that. She had mentioned his eyes. Who is the he in the quotation? All right, what do we learn about Jonas's eyes? This is what Miss Susan was talking about just a second ago. Why does Jonas feel uncomfortable when Lily says these words? All right, text details about birth mothers. What do we know? We learned when we read. It told us.
Lenny said she would like to be a birth mother when she grew up, but her mother said no. You give birth, you do that for 3 years, and then you have to be in the workhouse or whatever. Yeah.
All right, so right now, what I want you working on until the bell rings is chapter 3.